Today we are starting with 13th question. Invasive species specialist group that develops global invasive species database belong to which one of the following? So something talking about species, it is related to environment and ecology subject. So subject wise we are clear. We'll see the options. They're talking about the International Union for Conservation of Nature, IUCN. The United Nations Environment Program, UNEP. The United Nations World Commission for Environment and Development. So, World Commission for Environment and Development. The Worldwide Fund for Nature. So, to answer this question, first read the question and get the clue from the question. So, they're saying invasive species specialist group. See, specialist means they're exclusively focusing on the species. And what is invasive? Invasive is the species which are not belonging to that region, but they are shifted to the region so that it is causing some harm. Okay, so those are exotic species which are causing harm. So that has to be checked so that species live good or they won't extinct. So what is that kind of organization which will release such a database? That is what they're asking. So I hope you understood the clue. Clue here is there should be a specialist group in that whatever program. So and they should work for species only. So species, particularly here invasive species, they should maintain the database as well. This is a explanation. See, I'll come from last option. Worldwide Fund. It is actually focusing on wildlife, animals, right? So here exclusively for invasive species. Here it is only for animals, wildlife. Correct. Species we also talk about plants plus animals. Worldwide Fund is for wildlife only. So this option you can't choose. So this will be wrong. Then C. The United Nations World Commission for Environment and Development. Why this we want? Why we have this? This is to talk about sustainable development, right? When you're talking about sustainable development, why will we talk only that to special group for invasive species? So this will be wrong. Then option B, the United Nations Environment Program. Environment Program is for basic environment conservation and talks about environment. Not particularly for invasive species or species, right? Whereas if you see IUCN is someone or something which will record or have a red list. Okay, which will note vulnerable species, extinct species, near extinction species and all. So it is basically about species. And there is a chance for it to have a specialist group for invasive species so that it is focusing on a species. So with that we can go with option A as an answer. So why other options are wrong? We should be knowing. So that is the important theme here. So second one for today, 14th question. Consider the following fauna. A lion-tailed macaque, Malabar civet, sambar deer. Okay. How many of the above are generally nocturnal or most active after sunset? First of all, they are talking about the species. We are going with environment and ecology subject. So whenever you study about environment ecology, you should study about different organization. We learn from here, and we should also learn from important species, right? And their behavior. So I'll say why it is important. So now we see they're asking in the question the nocturnal. The meaning also they are saying it should be active after sunset. So we should understand how major species, at least in like biodiversity rich areas, in that areas how they behave. Example, we have Western Ghats, Northeast India and on. So in that we have some endemic species. We should know what are their activity and how they are aiding for biodiversity. So with that intention they are asking the question. We should be knowing the behavior of such species. So first thing is lion-tailed macaque. It is available in Western Ghats and it is not nocturnal, it is diurnal. That means it is not active after sunset. So one option is wrong, so all three will be wrong. Sambar deer, it comes under near to Rajasthan and all. There is a high possibility it will be nocturnal. So Samba deer, it is nocturnal. Even Malabar civet, if you see the picture, you will understand it is nocturnal. So here option B is correct. So both Malabar civet and Samba deer are nocturnal. For this question to be answered, we should be knowing important biodiversity rich areas and the species available there and their characteristics, right? So the next question is, which of the following organisms perform waggle dance for others of their kin to indicate the direction and the dance distance to a source of their food? So it is like, which are those organisms that will perform this dance? Why they are performing? Here is the key. So they are performing so that they indicate the direction. They'll indicate a direction for the food collection. Okay, source of a food, they will indicate the direction. When will you indicate a direction to others? When you are going in a group. That is true, right? Now we have to look into species which are going in a group to collect a food source. So first of all, this is coming under environment and ecology because we are talking about a species, and particularly it is important to understand the communication among the insects and the species, right? Why is it so important? Because recently some 1 week back, there is a sustainable pheromone developed by some institute. Why? Because to have a sustainable pesticide. Pheromone is one of the chemical released by the insects to communicate. We are using that chemical only to control the pest. So that's how we are kind of using our understanding. First we should understand how these insects and pests or organisms interact or communicate among themselves. If you understand, you can develop similar technology, right? So with that intention, it is important to understand the communication among the insects and the organisms. So here they are saying they are going in a group. Okay, I'll come from the last option. So wasps, sometimes they may go in group, sometimes they are not. So if they are not going always in a group, why to communicate? That too they are saying for food collection, right? So this option is wrong. Then if you go with butterfly. So butterfly are individually going and collecting their food. Then why you want this communication? They are saying communicated for food collection, right? So this is wrong. Even dragonflies will not go in a group. But whereas if you see honeybees, they go in a group and they want communication to check where is the food. So with that we can go with option C. If any alternative option if your feeling is right, please comment.